Who are your mentors and why? Please share a memorable lesson you learned and carried with you.
Well, for one, I can say my former boss, Dato Kasi Palanipan Kasi, with whom shared a lot of good experience. While my tenure with him, I worked for him for about 16 years. I was tasked to manage investments in the property market as well as investments in the stock market. Now, I learned a lot how to manage resources and how to manage people under me, and also dealings with bankers, insurers. All this gave me a lot of, the experience I gained there. It actually gave me confidence and also the good skill set for me to eventually start a business on my own. And today I am actually running a security firm. I'm managing a lot of people, but I believe this ability is something that I learned from my previous firm.
So, in your opinion, how can leaders of an organization like yours support the local community?
Well, for one, I can say that we have actually recruited a lot of, in my organization, we have actually recruited a lot of locals as employees. That itself, I believe, it is a way that we are supporting the local community. And besides that, by employing Malaysians, we are also able to reach to their families in many ways. And besides that, besides employing the locals, we can also reach out to the needy in so many ways, like getting involved, contributing some help to charitable organizations, helping school-going children. Needy school-going children. Reach out to needy people financially.
Especially during this pandemic.
Yeah, during pandemic, we actually have kind of contributed in whatever we can to people from all walks of life. Those who need help in whatever way we can, like contributing small helps. Not in large scale, but small helps in whatever way we can, like buying household stuff.
So, how do you feel traits like empathy and vulnerability, more towards the emotional quotient side, play a role in your leadership style?
Well, corporate companies, corporations, while we are very focused on profit, profit is important for corporations to survive. But besides that, I feel empathy is an important element. When you can understand the needs, the feelings of your employees. What are they expecting? What is their need? Why are they there in your organization? This is a very important part. If we are able to address that. We believe if the employee is happy, we can achieve our goals easily. And on the part of vulnerability, we should not take advantage of one's weakness. In fact, we should be able to assist employees in areas of weakness by giving them, if there is a weakness in them, maybe we should adopt. We do send our workers for trainings, and there are so many programs out there. We do send them for trainings. In that way, we give them confidence. We build their confidence, and they can overcome a lot of weakness in them. Weakness is not a reason for us to be, it actually gives us an opportunity to give them an opportunity to go for training and to improve themselves. They build their confidence, and with that, the trust that they start trusting you. In that way, the company progresses well. We are also able to achieve our goals easily. Like I said earlier, it is not always about profit and profit and profit. It is about building people within the organizations, which eventually takes the organization to greater heights.
How do you inspire others while keeping yourself inspired to do what you do every day?
Well, I believe inspiring others is a leadership quality itself. Now, be a good leader and do the right things. By being a good leader, when you start leading well, you create leaders, And, inspiring my people is not that difficult because I work together with them. I learn, we work together, and we learn new things together, and we try not to see the hierarchy in the organization too often. I mean, when we work together, we are like all together, you know. I mean, whether I'm the operations director and he's whether these are the operations managers, you know, there are so many other posts in my organization, but we all make it easier. I mean, we work on the same platform. You know, that itself is like, I mean, when we work in that manner, we all keep inspiring each other, you know. And I always say that my position is to be taken over by somebody else in the years to come. So, you know, we create the opportunity. We keep saying that the company will be there, but our positions has to be replaced. So we keep motivating our people to take up higher positions in the organization.
So, as a leader, I'm sure you've mastered many qualities yourself, but what are some leadership qualities you continue to develop and work on to this day?
Learning is a process. In today's world, I mean, today's IT world, things are changing rapidly. So there is the learning process never stops. You know, I don't believe there is that we have learned enough. It just goes on. Every day we are learning something new. And one of the leadership qualities that I share with my people is I always emphasize on being on time in the office and responding to clients within a prescribed time. We don't let people wait for days before we respond to them, all right? And these are very important traits in business, because when somebody is looking for some answers and we have to, I mean, even if we don't have the answers, we actually respond by saying that we are looking into the matter. And at the same time, motivating our staffs. I mean, meeting deadlines. We are a company, we deal with a lot of government departments. So we have a lot of deadlines to catch up. And we keep doing things. We insist on achieving our targets. Our deadline. I mean, that itself, I believe it's a leadership trait, you know, and motivating our staff by giving them a tap on their back, thumbs up, you know, those kind of things. One of the qualities, if you ask me what I'm learning over the last couple of years, is, I would have to start with patience, tolerance, and new things. We learn new things. These are all traits of a leader, trying to understand, you know, and being very composed. Yeah, I mean, this processes is an ongoing process as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so we've come to our last question. So, what is something you wish someone had told you during your journey in this career path, like in this business field? And did you see yourself in this position 20 years ago?
Now, when I started with business, I actually went into a couple of different businesses at the same time. I just wish someone had told me, you know, rather than being jack of all trades, you know, be the master of some. I wish somebody had told me that, because I wouldn't have wasted some years experimenting on new businesses, which actually did not take off well. When I was about to leave former boss, he did say one thing to me. Well, I told him this, that I would not be taking employment anymore, because I felt at that point in time that I've armed myself with a sufficient amount of skill sets to actually start something on my own, and I'm going to give myself a chance to do that, so that I don't shoulder any regrets later part of my life. Of course, it was a risk, but he did say this to me. He said he believed that I will do well if I go on my own, or even if I were to take an employment with anybody. But I somewhat did see myself in this position 20 years ago, because I wanted to be here. So I worked towards that, and today I'm here. But this is not the end of the journey. I'm still setting new goals, new targets, you know, as long as I'm still in the business.